Hello everyone, welcome back to the course of Software Project Management. This video is brought to you by Newton's Group of Institutions in association with Redefined Solutions. This is Arvind Egireddy from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. In this video, we will discuss about PERT techniques. Let us see what is PERT. PERT is a method of analyzing the task which is involved in completing a given project, especially the time needed to complete each task and to identify the minimum time needed to complete the total project. PERT was being developed primarily to specify the planning and scheduling of large and complex projects. So we can say that PERT is a project management planning tool which is used to calculate the amount of the time it will take to realistically finish a project. And PERT stands for Project Evaluation Reviewing Technique. Coming to the history of PERT or CPM, PERT charts were created in the 1950s to help manage the creation of weapons and defense projects of the US Navy. This is being developed by the US Navy for planning and control of the Polaris missile program. So while PERT has been introduced in the Navy, the private sector simultaneously gave rise to the similar method which is called as critical path CPM, which is being developed by DuPont to solve the project scheduling problems. Here, the emphasis of the PERT was on completing the program in the shortest possible time, and the emphasis of CPM was on the trade-off between the cost of the project and its overall completion time. So, PERT is similar to the critical path in that they are both used to visualize the timeline and the work that must be done for a project. We estimate the shortest possible amount of time each task will take, the most possible amount of time, and the largest amount of time task might take. So if things does not go as planned, PERT is calculated backward from a fixed end dates, since contractor deadlines typically cannot be moved. Coming to the definition of PERT. PERT is a work model diverse to complete the project work in time. It analyzes the actual work time required to complete a task. Here, program evaluation and review technique PERT is a method which is used to examine the task that is scheduled and to determine a variation of the critical path method CPM. Now, coming to the concepts and the meaning of PERT. PERT is a very famous project model that has found its use in various professions, including the nursing. So this model helps in judging the time required in completing an activity. Here, nurse administrators can use this model to delegate and assign the work schedule to the nurses in a hospital. So here it not only evidences the cost effectiveness of nursing care, but also has a great impact on reducing the expenditure by the patient. So this model helps to reduce the patient's hospital stay by judging the forehand the actual care time, manpower, money, and material required. Therefore, following this model helps to prevent the waste of time, money, and material, benefiting both patients and the hospital management. Here, PERT includes the finished product or service deserved, the total time and budget needed to complete the project or program, the starting date and completing date, the sequence of steps or activities, the estimated time and cost of each step or activity, and it is a model for project management which is designed to analyze and represent the task involved in completing a given project. Here, coming to the components of the PERT model, every activity consumes time and needs adequate resources such as manpower, material, space, and machinery to change or move one event to another. Here, the different components we come across in the PERT model are, first one is predecessor event. It is an event that precedes some other event, and it can be a single or an multiple event. Second one is successor event. It is an event that immediately follows some other event, and it can have single, multiple successor events. The third one is optimistic time, O. It is the minimum possible time which is required to complete the task, anticipating that every event has occurred better than unusually expected. And the fourth one is pessimistic time, P. This means that the maximum possible time required to complete the given task, expecting or assuming everything goes wrong except the main catastrophes. And the fifth one is most likely time, M. That is the actual and the best time required to complete the task, and assuming that everything goes in an usual way. Now coming to the sixth one, that is expected time or the very best time. So here the accurate or the actual time required to complete the task, and it is the most reliable and valid time estimate to complete a task. It can be calculated using the following relation. TH is equal to O plus 4m minus P by 6. That is, expected time is equal to optimistic time plus 4 times most likely time minus pessimistic time divided by 6. Here we are given a small example, that is TH is equal to 5 minimum plus 4 into 10 minimum minus 15 minus 15 minimum by 6. Here 5 is the minimum value of the optimistic value, and 10 is the minimum value of the most likely time, and 15 is the pessimistic time. So by using this formula, we calculated the expected time or the very best time, TH. Now the next component is float time or slack time. So it is the amount of the time that can be floated without causing delay in the total completion of the work. And the next component is critical path. It is the longest possible and the actual total time which is required to complete the full task. And it is otherwise called as an total calendar time. And the next, critical total float activity. It is an activity that has a total float which is equal to 0. So no float time is required in the critical path. And the next is lead time. So this refers to the time taken by the predecessors to complete the task. In this, there is sufficient time for the subsequent activities that can follow the predecessor. And the next, lag time. So the lag time is the earliest time taken by the successor event to take place, which follows the specific PERT activity. Now coming to the PERT chart. So here a PERT chart is a graphical representation of the activities of the project, showing the sequence that has to be performed continuously. It has the critical path of the tasks that has to be finished in time. So This chart helps us to focus only the needed activity and omit the unwanted ones. Therefore, it saves time, energy, and material. So here we can see a graph where the PERT, that is the sequence of activities of the project, are being represented. So here this picture shows the sequence that has to be performed continuously from starting to the finish. So here in this graphical representation, it has the critical path of the task that has to be finished in time. So this chart helps us to focus only the needed activity and omit the unwanted ones. Therefore, it saves our time, energy, and material. Now, the purpose of the PERT. So here, to schedule the project, the purpose of this PERT is to organize the project, to coordinate the tasks, to manage the time, and to analyze the work. So here there are different steps in the PERT planning process. PERT involves the following steps, and here it specifies the activities and the milestones, the sequence of activities, network diagrams, estimating the time, critical path, updating the PERT chart. So here, to identify the specific activities and milestones, we need to identify the activities, milestones, which help to list the tasks in a table. Then we need to determine the proper sequencing of the activities. So maybe the combined, these activities are being combined with activities identification steps, since the activity sequence is an evidence for the task, some task, and other tasks may require more analysis so that we can determine the exact order in which they need to be performed. So for doing this, we need to construct a network diagram. So we need to construct the network diagram, and to construct the network diagram, activity sequence information, that is a network diagram, can be drawn showing the sequence of serial and parallel activities. And here each activity represents a node in the network, and the arrow represents the relation between these activities. So here the software package simplify this task by automatically converting the tabular activity information into an network diagram. So here we need to estimate the time required for each activity. So weeks are commonly used as unit of time for activity completion. Sometimes it can be days. So a distinguishing feature of PERT is its ability to deal with uncertainty in the activity completion time. And coming to optimistic time, the optimistic time is the shortest time in which the activity can be completed. So to specify the optimistic time, to be their standard deviations from the mean. And then we need to find the most likely time M. So this is nothing but the completion time having the highest priority. Then we need to find the pessimistic time P. So this is nothing but the maximum possible time which is required to accomplish a task, assuming everything goes wrong, but excluding the major catastrophes. Now, PERT assumes a beta probability distribution for the time estimates. So here, estimated time TE. So this is nothing but this is the best time required to accomplish the task, accounting for the fact that the things don't always proceed as normal, and which is given by the formula we have discussed. T E is equal to O plus 4 times M plus P divided by 6. That is optimistic time plus 4 times the most likely time plus pessimistic time divided by 6. So once after doing this, we need to determine the critical path. The critical path is determined by adding the times for the activities in each sequence, and we need to determine the longest path in the project. So here the critical path determines the total calendar time required for the project. So in this picture, you can see the network diagram. So here the activities outside the critical path speed up or slow down within the limits, so the total project time does not change. And the amount of the time that a non-activity critical path that can be delayed without referred to as the project in the slack time. So here the critical path will help us to determine the earliest start time S, earliest finish time F, latest start time LS, and latest finish time LF. So here the variance in the project completion time can be calculated by summing the variances in the completion time of the activities in the critical path. The project can be accelerated by adding the resource required to decrease the time for each activity in the critical path. So by shortening the project, sometimes which is being referred to as an project crashing. Then we need to update the PERT charts as the project progresses. So here we need to make the adjustments in the PERT chart as the project progresses, and as the project unfolds, the estimated time can be replaced with the actual time. In case where there are delays, additional resource may be needed to stay on schedule, and the PERT chart may be used to modify to reflect the new situation. So here let us see some of the benefits of PERT. So here there are several benefits in using the PERT in the project management, and it helps to maximize the use of the resource, and it makes the project planning more manageable. And it is useful even if there is a little or no previous scheduled data, and it enables the project manager to better estimate or determine or more definite completion date. So here, as we have seen that we can use these PERT techniques in different places. And we have seen that this we are going to use in the hospitals. So nurse managers use the PERT system for controlling. It focuses planning and shows how pieces fit together. It does this for all nursing line managers. So it is essential that a system for periodic evaluation and control at critical points in the program. It reveals the problems and it is forward looking. So PERT is generally used for complicated and expensive projects or programs. Many records are used to control the expenses and otherwise conserve the budget. So these include personal staffing reports, overtime reports, monthly financial reports, and other sorts of reports. So all these reports should be available to nurse managers to help them monitor, evaluate the use of the people and money as part of the controlling process. And coming to the advantages of the PERT. So here the advantages of the PERT given by Modern and Phillips. So here it encourages the logical discipline in planning, scheduling and controlling of the project. That is one of the major advantages. It encourages more long range and detailed project planning. It provides a standard methods of documenting and communicating project plans, schedules and time and cost performance. It identifies the most critical elements in the plan, thus focusing management attention that is the most constraining on the schedule. And it illustrates the effects of technical procedural changes on overall schedule. And we have some other advantages. Here it explicitly defines the and makes the visible dependencies between the WBS elements. It facilitates identification of the critical path and makes this visible. It facilitates identification of early start, late start and slack time for each activity. It provides for potential reduced project duration due to better understanding of the dependencies, leading to improved overlapping of the activities and tasking where feasible. So here we have some disadvantages also. Here there can be potentially hundreds or thousands of activities and individual dependency relationships. Here the network chart tends to be large and unwidely, requiring several pages to print and required special size paper. So the lack of time frame are most PERT and CPM, that is critical path method charts, which make it hazard to show the status, although colors can help. Example, specific colors for completed nodes. With the PERT and CPM critical path method, charts become unwidely and they are no longer used to manage the project. So these are the different disadvantages what we can see while using the PERT method. And here we have some limitations. These limitations include the activity time estimates, which are somewhat subjective and which depend on judgment. So in other cases, if the personal or group performing the activity estimates, then the time there may be a bias in the estimate. So even if the activity times are well estimated, here the PERT assumes a beta distribution for these time estimates, but the actual distribution may be different. So even if the beta distribution assumptions hold, PERT assumes that the probability distribution of the project completion time is the same as that of the critical path. So here, while constructing the PERT, we use Gantt charts. Now, let us see what is a Gantt chart. So a Gantt chart is a type of bar chart that illustrates a project schedule. After the PERT or CPM analysis is completed, the following phase is to construct the Gantt chart and then to reallocate the resource and reschedule if at all, if necessary. So here, Gantt charts have become a common technique for representing the phases and activities of the project work breakdown structure. And it was being introduced by Henry Gantt around 1910 and 1915. So here the uses of using these Gantt charts is, it shows the current scheduled status. It measures task duration in the project. It represents the cost, time and the scope of the project. A useful tool for planning and scheduling the project. And to plan how long a project should take, and lays out the order in which these tasks need to be carried out. So here, while using the Gantt charts, Modern Gantt charts software provide dependencies between the tasks. So here to monitor the project's progress, to visualize immediately what should have been achieved at the point in time, and to assist in time remedial actions to bring the project back onto the course if at all, if required. Now we need to construct Gantt charts. So these steps to construct the Gantt charts from the information obtained by PERT or CPM. One is we need to schedule the critical task in the correct position, place the time window in which the non-critical task can be scheduled, schedule the non-critical tasks according to their earliest starting times, and then we need to indicate the precedence relationship between these tasks. So in the first step, we need to schedule the critical tasks. So whatever the critical tasks are there, that we need to schedule. Then in the second step, we need to place the time window for non-critical tasks. So here in the step 3, we need to schedule the non-critical tasks, and in step 4, we need to indicate the precedence relationships. So in this way, we can represent the Gantt charts. And here, the advantages of using these Gantt charts. So it helps in planning and monitoring the work of the project. And here the time is explicitly expressed in the chart. So all tasks are visible at glance in relation to other. And here the deadlines are depicted in the chart. And we have some limitations. Although the project management software can show scheduled dependencies, as the lines between the activities display a large number of dependencies may result in cluttered or unreadable charts. Because the horizontal bars of the Gantt charts have a fixed height, they can misrepresent the time phase workload of a project, which may cause confusion, especially in the large projects. So here, a related criticism is that all activities of the Gantt chart show planned workload as constant. So in practice, many activities, especially summary elements, which have a front-loaded or back-loaded work plans. So a Gantt chart with a true schedule performance status. Now let us see the difference between the PERT and the CPM. PERT is a probabilistic model and CPM is a deterministic model. In PERT, non-repetitive jobs like planning and scheduling of programs is done, whereas in CPM, repetitive jobs like residential construction is done. Here in PERT, results calculated on basis of events, whereas in CPM, results are calculated on the basis of activities. In PERT method, here are the results are related with activities of uncertain time, whereas in deterministic or CPM model, related with activities of well-known time. So coming to the conclusion, here PERT and Gantt charts is helpful in various projects in different settings like nursing, management, business management, etc. So these programs help in reducing the time from the actual time for the project, proper work, and analysis the work. That's all for now. Thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for the latest notifications. Thank you all.